I just saw this afternoon on the news that the government of India has uh, rejected or reversed their invitation to Bill Gates to be the keynote speaker at the Artificial Intelligence Summit seminar, which is going on in Delhi right now. And those in the left-wing media are saying that this is a self-serving move to distract attention from the many high officials in the Modi regime that seem to have had a close and rather sordid relationship with Bill Gates, with Jeffrey Epstein, and that if there was any real objection to Bill Gates, then the invitation wouldn't have been extended in the first place, because all of this was done and he was selected as the keynote speaker and the visa issued to him when it was already well known what had been happening now for years. His connection with Epstein had come out years and years ago. While this may be true, I think that the deeper question remains. This might be the first time that a government has actually distanced itself from Bill Gates because of what has been revealed in the Epstein files, or at least because of the public outrage on what has been revealed about Bill Gates in the Epstein files. Has a single international institution associated with him disassociated itself because of this? Has a single of these high-minded self-appointed guardians of public morality and public policy in the Gates Foundation, has any one of them said that they want to quit because their boss is a disgusting person? I mean, you know, when is the left wing going to wake up and look at itself? This whole universe that was revolving around Jeffrey Epstein, all the people that were involved with him, this whole thing is a left wing creation. It's their agendas, it's their public intellectuals, it's their policies, you know, that were being funded, debated. It was their people. It was their people who were going to Epstein. And it was Epstein who was going to their people. And they formed this great club together. I mean, this is the problem. This is the problem. It's now been weeks and weeks. Politicians are beginning to fall. Professionals are beginning to fall. Finally, one philanthropist, a government has said that, you're a billionaire, you're a philanthropist, but you need to stay away. When is the social development world, the NGO world, the international development world, when are they going to start reflecting on Bill Gates? The fact that Bill Gates is, their closeness to Bill Gates, when are they going to start doing that? That man is still the biggest funder to the WHO, a man who, if that email that has been found in the Epstein files has any grain of truth behind it, he talks about public health risks and he doesn't have the decency to use a condom. I mean, what public health risk? What does he know about public health? This is basic stuff. So, I'm just waiting still to see when I'm going to see the actual demonstration of personal integrity on the part of these social development workers and NGO workers and public intellectuals who have spent the last so many decades preaching to all of us and declaring us mere mortals who just wanted to have our family and have a few savings and, yes, they need to make a living. You've always looked down upon us and told us that you have made the more moral choice because your lives are dedicated to the public and to service. Well, does not the fact that a guy like Bill Gates could be so high in your world, doesn't that lead you to question it now when his sordid connection with Epstein and the sordid connection of money and money laundering in this so-called world of philanthropy with Epstein is involved? I mean, do you not see that you are part of a system which is enabling money laundering, which is enabling and fostering sex trafficking and child trafficking? It's absolutely pathetic. It's absolutely the most pathetic of all is Hillary Clinton, who has the gall to say that this got nothing to do with her and that she may have known, Epstein. She can't remember. I mean, any lawyer knows what that answer means. She has to tell us what does she feel about the photo of Bill Clinton in a hot tub with a very, very much younger girl in that tub. And there's another photo of him with his arm apparently in the Lolita Express in Epstein's scandalous, horrendous plane in which young aspiring models were abused by lecherous men with his arm around another blonde over there. I mean, and the reason why, I mean, okay, she won't be the first woman to have a lech for a husband. Okay, I personally, I can have sympathy for a woman in that situation. But look at the talk that was talked. People like Hillary Clinton and Melinda Gates were running around the world, coming to India and telling us that, the position of women in India is very bad and there are not enough women in the workforce, while you were accepting this kind of behavior on the part of your husbands. And I mean, both of these men, they were exploiting much younger women. And in the case of Hillary Clinton, so many of the American girls that were involved in the sex trafficking by Epstein, there's a documentary called Filthy Rich on Netflix. You can go and watch it. They came from the foster system. The foster system was a sort of hunting ground for people like Epstein to groom these vulnerable young girls who'd been snatched away from their families and anybody who really loved them, in a system that was set up by Hillary Clinton. Read about it. She was the champion of this. Okay? She built her name on this. And she created a foster system, which, by the way, is really badly malfunctioning. It's just taking children away from poor people, whereas rich parents who do much worse towards their children, there's no question of their children being taken away. But so foster girls are being created in a system set up by Hillary Clinton. Those foster girls are being groomed into sex work by people like Epstein. Her husband is seen in a hot tub with these young girls who fall into Epstein's trap, and Hillary Clinton feels she has nothing to answer for. That's grotesque. That's truly disgusting. And that's only one example. Bill Gates's personal obsession with lockdown and vaccines as the only response to the COVID pandemic is directly responsible for no serious questioning of whether this virus was man-made or not. And again, we come to funding and research. Don't forget the philanthropy and the funding of research and of academic departments and professors, all closely related. And that's why you had all these people circling around Epstein. I mean, more than his sex trafficking, they were around him like bees around a honeypot, because he was able to launder their money and do tax structuring for them and park big sums of money in their departments. And so, the research which was banned in America because it was dangerous on gain-of-function viruses is then taken out. You have the same people who were doing the research whose foundations were shut down in America. They're going and collaborating in Wuhan, in the very place where the virus broke out, in a lab over there. And there's also the lab was built with French collaboration. So this whole world of research and they're all so tightly connected. Isn't it highly suspicious then that the possibility of this having been a man-made disaster is not looked into? Because the very same people who are now in charge of the WHO are part of the same philanthropic world that has and research funding that has led to the Wuhan lab in the first place. How are you going to get any kind of honest inquiry? And has anyone in the legacy media asked these questions? No. In fact, they keep batting it back and saying that you're a conspiracy theorist if you raise it, even though it's been raised by people like Alina Chan, who are actually scientists themselves. And I mean, there's no end of it. This is only one example of how this horrible world of billionaire so-called philanthropists, international NGOs that are being now acting as extra non-state actors who are deciding, and they are the judge and jury and the implementer for all questions of public policy, where the voice of the individual citizen is completely forgotten. In fact, any questioning by the individual citizen is dismissed first by calling them a right-wing conspirator, and if that doesn't work, it's dismissed by saying, "But you're not a professional," as if to say these sociologists who are packing the whole NGO world are professionals of anything. I mean, but none of this such a toxic system. It's probably created one horrible plague in our lifetime, which killed so many people. And look what the kind of person that it's encouraging. Look at the exploitation of those vulnerable children and girls. It's just absolutely horrendous. And before snickering at anyone for asking for their involvement with Epstein, I think that people in the left-wing universe and in these NGOs and especially sociologists and academics should be asking, why is it that none of them have called for Bill Gates to be removed from any position in the WHO? Why? A man who can't use a condom if there's any truth behind those emails, he's going to be the public health czar? Come on, that's basic. Shame. Shame on you. Shame on you, left-wing academics. Shame on you, left-wing sociologists. Shame on you, feminists. Shame on you, philanthropists. Shame on all of you for not publicly asking for Bill Gates to be removed from the WHO and from all other international NGOs and institutions because of what has been revealed about him in the Epstein files. And if you believe that the Epstein files do not implicate him in any serious way, then shame on you for not having the courage to stand up and explain why. Shame on you.